Devi?
Davy,
Rudrani Devi. I'm sorry for mispronouncing
like
that.
Davy Crockett.
Yes, exactly. Rudani is a dear friend of mine. She is an author, a facilitator, and a seeker of authentic joy. And I recently, yesterday, uh, finished your memoir titled, um, which one is it? Choosing Happiness.
Yes.
Choosing Happiness is a very interesting memoir that Rudrani wrote in 2021,
2019.
2019. Okay.
Mhm.
And I want to bring you on to have a conversation about your memoir, about this wonderful book. And the reason why I am finding it very interesting to have met you just recently, within the last 6 months or so, is because you live just outside of Nashville. What perfect timing that my husband and I are about to move to Nashville in just 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And I think that what's really interesting right now is I find that there are people we meet in life who are shifting something in us. And for me, right now, that's you in real time.
Oh, no
And
pressure, no pressure.
no, this is fun. This is so fun because this is not a, a grand gesture or some loud proclamation. This is actually something that's been really quiet just between you and I over the phone. Like
Yeah.
this isn't in front of anyone. And so I want to kind of show what a rare soul you are to my community and my network and my friends and my family and people who are closest to me. Because what I have just discovered is your, from your story, you had interesting experiences where you didn't create a victim identity. It's actually the opposite, it's a victory. And through your Access Conscious movement that you are a part of, that I'm about to hand off over to you,
Mhm.
you shared 10 tools, simple tools that anyone in the world can access. And that is so powerful. And that's what I'm so excited to talk about. So I'll let you give yourself an introduction as well, and then we'll just take it from there.
Well, alrighty then. Yeah, so access consciousness was something that there are no mistakes. We've had that conversation before. That just sort of showed up in my life at the right time. Um, in the past, I'd always been a people pleaser, put myself last, wanted to be liked, all the usual stupid things that we do, especially when we're younger. I wish I'd had a manual when I could read. That's what I see this book being is it a manual on how to find joy in your life in ways you would have before said I don't deserve. And it's like once you can actually read, this book should be given to you, and that's why I wrote this book. But it was one of those things where I have a friend who's a singer songwriter, as am I, and he had the founder of Access Consciousness at his house channeling. That's when you're pulling in information from another dimension. And it can be verbal, it can be a lot of things. And he was actually channeling words. And I found what this energy or entity was saying very interesting because it was very different from the way that I had been taught to be in the world. And so I decided I had to get as much information as I could. This was in 2007. Internet was not what it is today. And I'm trying to look it up, I'm trying to find things. And I somehow find a class in Franklin, Tennessee, which is about 20, 30 minutes from where I live in Nashville proper. I'm like 10 minutes from downtown, depending on traffic.
And I'll
During rush
interrupt
hour,
real
it's going to
quick.
take you an hour.
What's what's aligning is this is the exact town that my husband and I happen to be moving to. So
Yes.
the timing of all of this, I'm like, oh, there's
Kind of,
something here.
it's kind of fascinating. Access consciousness actually began in Nashville, Tennessee. Then it moved to California, and then it went from there to Houston, Texas. And I know the backstory and all of it, but I'm not going to bore you with it right now. But needless to say, I was like,
Yes.
okay, I've got to figure out as much as I can about this, and I learned a lot. Um, and then I found this class. What happened was, is I went to India. I got shot by terrorists. I feel like I'm just brushing over this, but most people know that story. And by the time I'd learned how to walk and everything again, I was like, what was that clearing statement that that guy channeled? What was it? What was that access statement? And then I'm that person that files everything. I'm so freaking organized so that I can be completely chaotic when I need to be, because then I'll know where everything is. Like my closet is crazy, girl. When you see my closet, Meredith, you can be like, well, look at all them pink purses. You know. Anyway, just saying, I digress. So I looked in my filing cabinet, and sure enough, I found a manila envelope that said the clearing statement. It was like 3 pages long because it used to, now it's condensed. Now you can just say pod and poc. But it was basically, it was like waving a magic wand, and anytime you wanted to create something, you use this statement. And then
Yes.
after I found it, I got online because now I remembered, oh, it's access consciousness. That's right, that's what it is. Because I couldn't remember. And that's when I found a class for bars and for level 1 and 2. And from that moment forward, I was hooked. And the book came about because after I got hurt, I was traveling around the world doing book signings for my first 2 books. And this kid comes to the microphone and is like, "You are a crazy lady. What is wrong with you? Why are you so happy?" And I thought, well, isn't it my job to be happy? I mean, it was like one of these things where I thought, who asks somebody that question? And then I dialed it back and I went, you know what? You got a good point there, youngin, because I have tools that nobody else seems to have to help me navigate my life. And then I thought, these 2 men, founder and co-founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas is the founder, and he would always say, you guys don't know how to explain what access consciousness is. You make us sound like a cult. So I thought, I'm going to write a book that the average person could read and
Mhm.
receive these tools, because the way the access speak is, if you're ever in a class with a bunch of access people, they sound like robots, man. I mean, because of all these different tools, and I just tell it like it is. So I basically stole from the book, The 10 Keys to Total Freedom, and rewrote it in a manner that could be received by anyone. And I basically said, Gary, I'm writing this book for these stupid people that make y'all sound like, crazy people, crazy land, and that way they can hand it to their families and say, listen, if you really want to know what I'm into, read this
Mhm.
book and it will explain.
Yes.
And that's what it's become. It's become a guideline. And the thing
Yep.
is people don't even know they can choose happiness. They think that they're undeserving, that only happens to people that are born into rich families, and even they're not happy because they're cheating on it. It's like the craziest shit. But we've been programmed like robots. We've been programmed like AI to, knee jerk into what is accepted in this reality, which to me makes
Right.
no sense. Just being aware of everybody choosing that is fine for me. Choose what you want to choose. But guess what? There are other choices you can make, and you are very deserving. We are all deserving.
Yes. And I think so. The message I received from your book, from this manual, is that every individual, as a being, has the ability to choose to be happy, and and that's the message that I heard is, will you choose it?
Mhm.
And if are you willing to be happy? And if so, are you going to, authentically express this happiness? And I think what what your what it sounded like for you was there's a turning point where you had situations.
Mhm.
I'll circle back to your India experience. So that was just thrown out there. So, what I learned from your book is that you went to India with your friend Linda, and this was an opportunity for you because for about 5 days you were taking classes on meditation and doing a workshop. And you were staying at a hotel. You were in the lobby of the hotel. It was a very nice hotel, and out of nowhere, um, um, I can't remember the
Two
terrorist
gunmen.
organization.
Two
Two,
gunmen that look like children. Yeah.
yes, so two terrorists came into the hotel and they started shooting, and unfortunately, you witnessed two of your friends at that table not surviving, and your knee was shot in that experience.
Yeah, my femur was actually
Or
shattered,
sorry, your
and then my
femur was
right
shot.
tricep was shot out, and then my neck was grazed, so I couldn't even talk. It's
Right.
like I
And then
thought
you
I'm never going to speak again. Oh, I guess I'm dying now because then I started floating out of my body, and I went, "Wow,
right.
this feels great. This feels great. Is this what dying is about?"
We're dying. No,
Just
but the purpose of this story, this such powerful story, like this was 2008 for you, or 2007?
2008. It was actually Thanksgiving Day of 2008
Yes.
in
So
America. It was Thanksgiving. Yeah.
right. And so like I started the conversation, instead of a victim mentality, you created a victory. The
Yeah.
next year, you healed your body and you completed the Boston Marathon.
I know.
Yes. You
That's what
also,
my first two books were
yes.
about, actually. I'm going to move my computer because they're sitting on top of the books
Okay, that's
because I'm
fine.
making a
Anyway,
book.
so the access. Okay, so what Rue has been describing, yes, is this concept of an access consciousness movement. Okay, so
Mhm.
the movement is choosing joy over sadness. The
Mhm.
movement is, being this half glass full instead of half empty. It's an exuberant, joyful being, and that's you. That's Rue.
That's
She
me,
is
y'all.
you're trained. You're so much more. I don't even want to go into credentials because yes, you were very credited, and that's never to be diminished. But I think I was thinking earlier, like, okay, how am I going to introduce Rue? Like, what a opportunity that is. And so, what I wrote down as I was reading your book, because like you, I like to write things down and think about it later. And so yesterday, the tool, I want to circle it back to what consciousness awareness is movement, what the 10 tools are. The
Mhm.
tool is number one, follow my energy. That is, you described it as a magical statement that will unwind anything
Mhm.
I'm feeling stuck about. So that is what access consciousness is. And then I wrote Google theclearingstatement.com. I haven't done it yet, but it's there. I'm gonna do it. And so that is like such a simple and
Mhm.
powerful tool that you described. And this is where our frequency, we have this energy, we have this natural vibration. This is a gift that you and I
Mhm.
both share individually, and that this gift is becomes naturally to us. And so as I was reading your memoir, I resonated with, like, you know the what's wrong with you, why are you so happy, are you on drugs, are you crazy,
Yeah.
you're weird. And
Mhm.
you and I are just like, this is us, we're here, this is our being, and what a gift
Mhm.
that is, that we it's us,
It's
it's
our innate right
yes.
as beings of this planet to be happy. And the problem is we get it yanked out of us at a very early age that that's not acceptable. You should only be happy when you have a baby or when you get married or, that one nice meal that you have a week or whatever it is. It's so stupid. What if you could be happy just looking out the window and watching, like I'm doing now, the leaves dancing in the wind, and this little chipmunk over here eating some of the bird seed I left out. And it's just, I get in my hot tub and I talk to the nature, and that's so joyful for me. But most people, they take a walk and they're on their phone.
Right.
They don't even notice the wind
Right.
blowing through the trees. And for me, it's like if I close my eyes and I allow nature to brush against my cheek and whisper all their knowings, whatever it is so joyful. And a tree loves it when you acknowledge it. So does a rock, because nobody ever pays attention. And when you actually invite the world into your being,
Mhm.
it immediately contributes back to you. It's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think, what a present gift that we both are experiencing such awareness and such conscious awareness, right? And so how do we, to those who are ready and willing and desiring this joy, this natural authentic joy, what are 10 ways you can access this? So number one, it's following your energy. And so what that speaks to me is like kind of the awareness of, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this or do I not?
Will
And
it contribute to my life? It's
yes.
like it always starts with a question. If you can live in the question and not as the answer, then
Mhm.
all the doors start opening up to all the infinite possibilities. And
Why
that's
don't
how it
you?
works. I mean, the universe wants to gift you. But if you've
Yes.
already decided you can only see it one way and you live in the answer, the universe has no opportunity to even knock on the door because you've already shut it down. But if you
Right.
could be in that space of, hey, what are the infinite possibilities? What could I create and generate today? That would make us joyful right away, or make
Yes.
us money right away, or make us anything, you know.
So yeah, the tool that you explained so beautifully is the tool of living in 10-second increments.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
That's
one
a
because
very
you
good one.
you have the right to change your mind in every 10 seconds or 2 seconds. 10 seconds is just the way Gary does it, but literally, yeah, she's making notes. She's making notes.
Oh, I already
Taking
made it.
notes.
I read them all yesterday. So what you mentioned yesterday of what this 10-second increment coming from me, people who know me are going to be like, "Yeah, that's Meredith, impulsive, quick to da 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 da." And it's like, "Wait, hold on. This is backed in science. There's a reason. This is not an impulse. It's not it's actually the opposite. It's just free will. It
Mhm.
is the ability to make a choice whether it makes sense to anyone else or not. That's exactly what you said. And
Those
I
are my
think,
words.
yeah, and I think and I think the takeaway from that is in your story, your question was, it's basically when you find yourself in a hardship, you find yourself in a major debt. Okay. So, say you're in this major debt, you have all these loans that are outpaid, and you have an opportunity arise. You
Mhm.
have a business opportunity, a business opportunity. Okay. You get a flight down to Austin for some potential show, client, you name it.
Mhm.
You have 10 seconds to decide yes or no. Am I going to go or no?
Yep.
Okay. If I choose yes, that's okay, great. I'm
Right.
gonna I'm
I'm gonna
going
go
to be
grab it. I'm gonna go grab what you're talking about.
oh, okay. Well, so what is interesting about this concept of living in this 10-second increment is most, or if you are in a state of consciousness awareness, in your body, in your mind, in your soul, not good or bad, but does this align? Does this feel like I want to do it? And
Mhm.
so then what do you do with it? Okay, well, instead of getting stuck in this like, oh, the infinite possibility, it's like, okay, well, I'm I'm going to follow my energy.
Right. Which one
And
feels
then
light to you? Which one makes your body
yes,
actually scream on the inside, even if you're
yes.
not screaming on the outside?
Right.
You
And
know?
so that's the magic, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So what were you going to show me? What'd you just get?
Well, I was going to give you an example, but when you started talking about going to Houston, I thought, well, I'm going to use that example instead. Maybe I'll circle back to the other one. I'm doing this.
Under the big top. What is this?
I leave June the 2nd. It's from June 3rd through 7th, and I fly
Okay.
back on the 8th.
Hmm.
What is this, you ask? Well, last year I went to the same Model and Talent Expo, and I was able to snag 3 agents. Since then, now I have 2 more. So I have 5 agents for different things. Literary agent, um, singing agent, commercials, movies, runway, all that stuff. So this year, I wasn't going to go. I already have all these agents. Why should I go? Right? but I'm talking to my mother agent, and she puts it out to me and says, "Listen, there's going to be 70 agents out there, and there are a few that are know about you now and are really interested. Maybe you should consider coming back. And there'll be some of the ones that you met before." And I thought, the only thing I didn't do last time was dance. So I'm literally now taking tap lessons. I used to teach tap, Meredith, years ago. I came to Nashville and was a dance teacher, tap, jazz, modern, ballet. And then I took break dancing, which is now called breaking. I used to be able to spin on my back. Anyway, so I'm going. It was a weird thing. She had mentioned it a few times and it never felt light. And then all of a sudden it did. Like when the dancing thing, I thought, wait a minute, I'm a really good hoofer. I could do a tap number. And better yet, I could do it to one of my songs called On the Dance Floor, Get on the dance floor. You was holding up the wall with your friends. Everybody was looking so cool. And then you saw me too. And then you waltzed my way and I knew. It's like this whole rap singing thing. And
Right.
it lends itself to,
Yes.
So, yeah, it's one of those things that wasn't aligning, or I wasn't feeling the energy to go there, and until I did. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna go take these lessons. I have enough airline miles to get there. All I gotta do is pay for the hotel, and it's a special rate because it's an event. Oh my gosh, guess what, Meredith? They're not charging me this year. It was $2,500 last year to go.
Wow.
This year they're not charging me. You know why? Because my agent knows that I'm going to impress some people, and if I can get them, they make money too. I mean, your agents make a percentage. They want you to work. They want you to work. And
Yeah.
so, how did I get so lucky? And what else is truly possible now that I never imagined?
Right. And so I think one other tool to circle back to, I wrote down, is you speak a lot about judgment
Mm.
in a way of shifting your judgment, your opinion, your immediate reaction, your gut reaction, immediate.
Mm-hmm.
The tool, when you are in a when you're in a state of consciousness, the tool is to
IPOV.
what?
IPOV. Interesting point of view.
Yes. And
Yep.
so everything is an interesting choice.
Mhm.
Everything is an interesting point of view. It's not a judgment. It's a, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
not
interesting that our world is as chaotic as it is right now, but it's not the first time it's happened. Interesting point of view. We have this point of view that we need to be chaotic to be in this reality.
interesting point of view when you said in your book, someone asked you, would you heal and work on a terrorist?
Yeah, that was super.
Interesting point of view. Your answer was yes. That's amazing. I'm like, what? I'm like, Rue is, she's unbelievable. I was like, wow, that is so powerful that you've been on a journey where you were shot and you almost died. You had everything taken away from you. Everything. You came back. You had a divorce the next. No, it was like 2 days. You went through a divorce, and what did
Yeah, well, he started having an affair while I was in a wheelchair.
right?
So it was like within the year he had moved out and was starting a family with someone else, and we were still married.
Right. And so, what's so interesting though is your point of view after trauma, horrible trauma to your whole soul, your body, your everything, you. And what a what a shift that you would provide the opportunity for someone. So what you're saying is there's no exclusion. That's the
Absolutely
tool.
no exclusion. If this person really does want to change their stars and I can help facilitate that, then I am there. People, I've met people that were part of the Ku Klux Klan because they were born into it
Hmm.
with all these hate tattoos,
Sure.
to hated Italians, Jews, African Americans, whatever it was. And I mean, I remember seeing this interview with this guy, and even he had it tattooed on his neck. And then he realized that he had been implanted or brainwashed by his community to believe that these people were wrong. Like Hitler did a great job in doing that. Um, and so he was embarrassed because he was always having to try to cover up these tattoos. He even had them on his face. I mean, he was so embarrassed. And somebody was so moved by this man's change of heart that they offered to pay to get all those tattoos removed. And it was from a black Jew that offered that, which
Wow.
is amazing. The forgiveness. I mean, these terrorists they weren't seeking me out. I mean, they were saying that they were seeking out foreigners because I would be a foreigner in that country. They didn't ask me for my ID. They shot indiscriminately. They were at war with the Indians. People were like, how can you forgive those terrorists? And I said, because they were brainwashed to believe that they were going to um, die in an honorable way and have 10 wives on the other side, virgins waiting for them. And they were doing it for about $50 a piece to give to their families because that's a lot of money in these poor countries. And so I thought, wow, how poor guys, they were brainwashed by, bin Laden. I feel for them. They were in camps being trained their entire lives to die like this. They had to have been scared shitless, packed with all that arsenal. And I thought, I wonder how many lifetimes I've been that terrorist.
Hmm.
I wonder how many lifetimes I can't possibly point the finger unless I do this also. Because I do believe that we live multiple lives. I don't know if I necessarily believe in karma. For me, it's kind of like you can change your stars. So you don't have to learn a lesson if you've decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to choose differently. I'm going to live my life differently this lifetime. Yeah. I'm
Right.
going to forgive all those people that trespassed me in any lifetime. And even when I've trespassed myself. Interesting point of view. I've had those point of views. Perhaps there's a different way. You know? Makes sense?
Totally. It does to me. And so slow that down and say it one more time, the interesting point of view. And then just you say it so quickly and I'm like, wait, that's it. That's golden.
Call
Tattoo
rewind.
that on me.
Yep, 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 yep. Well, basically, interesting point of view to me. It is, it eliminates judgment, but it
Mhm.
also gives you another choice. Interesting point of view is not making the other person wrong and you right. Interesting point of view is allowing that person the freedom to be who they are without judgment. Interesting point of view that have that point of view. I notice I don't have that point of view, but it's okay. It's an interesting point of view that they feel this way. And it's an interesting point of view that they don't feel the way I do. It doesn't make them wrong or right either. Interesting point of view. I have that point of view. Interesting
It-
point of view. They have that point of view about my point of view. And you could just keep unwinding it until you get to this space of the noise is gone,
right.
you
And
know?
this all just continues to circle back to this idea that if you follow your energy, that's the tool.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting point of view takes the judgment out. So if you are in this judgmental state of mind,
Mm-hmm.
I think your ability to be curious without judgment, you want to learn more. You want to know what else is out there. You want to know, you're curious to explore opportunity, to explore what's down in Texas with your show in a month.
Mm-hmm.
You're curious to access uh, the unknown of the future.
Mm-hmm.
You're curious to um, you're curious to appreciate other people's points of view. It doesn't
Sure.
have to be your choice.
Mm-hmm.
You, Meredith, can choose happiness though. And when there's all this chaos in the world, my choice is to choose happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has that choice today. And I think what was so powerful, you mentioned in your book, you said there were two experiences in your life where you knew everything was going to be different.
Yeah.
And so
Oh my
the
God.
first one was when you were in college.
Yep.
You you were a high achiever, and you went to you and your friend went to a like fraternity party. The next day, you're like, oh, that's what a hangover feels like, and you were late to your class, and
Mhm.
then your teachers told you, well, you were late for roll call. You have to take this class actually next year because you missed the beginning, and you were like, oh. So then you took the opportunity to it wasn't you were in a state of, okay, well, I'm going to do something. Okay, what am
Yeah,
I going
you
to do?
fill that
Then
space with something, and you at that time, I don't know if they still call them electives, but
yes.
they're classes that don't necessarily go towards your what you're going to college for. They go, they kind of fill in the blanks. And I was going, well, there's astronomy, and then there's religious studies.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things where I'd been raised Catholic, and so that's all I'd ever known. But I dated Episcopalian, and I had a friend who was a Jew, and so I'd gone to their churches, and I thought, what, this could be interesting, you
Mhm.
know? So
Yeah.
I ended up taking that class, and I got there just in time before the class was going to end. I think they had like another 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think also this is just another example of choosing joy, choosing happiness, choosing
Mhm.
what's the next opportunity. Okay, I can't do this. You're in this kind of state of this 10-second increment. Okay, well, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go get myself in an elective. Okay, what are
Mhm.
my options? Okay, you're sprinting across campus to get to your elective class. That wasn't the
Yeah.
plan. And the alternative is not for achievers like us. It's not just like, oh well, okay, that's it, like I'm gonna
Right.
give up.
I blew
No.
I blew it because I was on an academic scholarship also. So I thought, wow, that's a great way to start my very first, And I was young too because I went to
Right.
college my first year I was 16.
Right.
It's
So
15, but I turned 16 like 2 weeks later. And I was like,
right,
don't
but
go to
this was
school
a
that young, y'all. I'm going to
profound
tell you right now. That
but
might
this was a
disappoint you.
profound turning point for you because that's I'm kind of painting the picture like you were this huge partier in college, and that's not what this was. This
Mm-mm.
was a shock to your system because you were like, oh my God, like you valued your education, you valued your class, you
Mhm.
valued showing up, that you value giving your 100% when you can, and you were like, uh-oh, like this isn't just it wasn't not an excuse, but you weren't going to allow this opportunity to just give up and you know
Don't tell me I
sorry.
can't.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Right.
I will
And this
show
is a
you
turning
that I
point though,
can.
because um what an interesting point of view of taking a setback.
Hmm.
And then what's your next roadmap? It's not like, it's what if you are allowing this joy of being in the University of somewhere in Tennessee,
Right.
and
Knoxville,
what,
Tennessee.
yeah, and it's kind of this idea of like light and dark. Okay, well, that's not what you planned. Now what?
It completely changed the trajectory of how I felt about a lot of things. And it basically, the end of that story was, I mean, I literally ran to the door, didn't realize that it was one of those stadium seating things, and I see this teacher, granola guy, with his little wire rimmed glasses, like John Denver. I don't know if you guys remember John Denver. Look him up. And he had on earth shoes, and he's just a granola guy, and I'm Miss Prepalicious, and he's going to teach this class, and on the board it's written that the first things we have to read are about Zazen and Buddhism and Hinduism, and I'm
Hmm.
going, what the hell is he talking about? And immediately these jocks get up and leave. One of them slams his hands on the table, goes, my personal savior and Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to do this shit.
Right,
And he
right.
gets up to leave because, religious studies to him is going to be all just about Mary Joseph and Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what his faith is. Didn't matter. But I walk in and say, I'm here for the class. He goes, well, that's great. Take that seat. Up. There's one seat up here. And you can't write this stuff. So here I'm like the walk of shame now, still hungover, because I didn't know you couldn't mix alcohol. That's how I got so messed up. And there was always wine at the table when I was growing up, even because we're Italian. We'd toast to be like maybe this much, but everybody got a little something. So I walked up the steps, left-handed desk in the corner. It's rocking, and he says, "Okay, well, those guys will leave." He goes, "Well, now we can really start the class because this is the reading we're going to do, but I'm going to lead you guys in a guided meditation." I'm like, I know what meditation is. I'm an Italian, Catholic, and it's in the Bible. We talk about meditation all the time. But it wasn't like anything I'd ever done before. He goes, I want you to close your eyes and follow your breathing. And he just sort of talked us through it, And I thought I fell asleep because, granted, I had not had much sleep and all of that. But all of a sudden, I felt a presence behind me, a warmth. And then hands touched me on the shoulder. And then this voice, I knew you were natural the minute you walked in. And I opened my eyes, and the room is empty. And it's my teacher standing behind me. And I was like, what the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? I took every religious studies course that guy taught in another associate. I ended up with a religious studies minor. And it really showed me this one truth for me, which is there's so many paths up the mountain, but the view from the top is the same. And consciousness and religion, the basis of it, whatever you want to call it, doesn't have a point of view. We're all, in quotes, God's children. We're all creatures of this beautiful planet. And it doesn't matter what you believe or what you don't believe. We all have the right to be here. We all have the right to be happy. And that was kind of the turning point for me to see, oh my gosh, maybe, because I was going to marry Jesus, Meredith. I was going to marry Jesus and be a nun. But the Blessed Mother animated herself to me when I was doing the rosary in church. She opened her eyes and telepathically told me that is not your path. You're not meant to marry Jesus. You have other plans. And so I told my mom, well, I guess I'm not going to be a nun now.
Not anymore.
I'm going to be not going to be a nun. Can you imagine this being a nun?
That's so funny.
That's how programmed I was.
Right. But I think
that's it. Nobody else. Yeah.
No, but I think what I'm hearing is you're open to source.
Yeah.
Whatever that name is.
Mm-hmm.
Call it God, call
One
it
source consciousness.
Yes.
One source consciousness.
Right. And all are good.
Mm-hmm.
And
why limit yourself?
Yeah. And so, whether you want to call yourself a Christian or a Jew or
a Buddhist.
Yes. A Tao. That might not even be the right terminology. Anyways, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you're identifying with, if we could just call it source.
Yeah.
We're all talking about the same thing.
Absolutely. It's the same energy. We all dip our toe in it.
Yep.
We just have a different point of view of what it is.
Yes. So I'd like to just call that energy, that awareness, that consciousness, that divine source. It's just source because that's creating a field for people to talk about a taboo topic that can become so polluted with energy, a lot of strong feelings, a lot of energy, a lot of war, a lot of anger and emotions, and that's because it's so deeply rooted in our families, in our where we grew up, what part of the world were we in? What was there war going on when wherever you were? The individual learns a protection mechanism or an openness to what that source is. And so if we could all just be kind and have conversations, that are about, whatever that is for you, I'm like, I think that's world peace. I solved it.
If it were only that easy, Meredith.
I'm like, okay, I got a plan.
I mean, it's funny because you've got to be an allowance that most people don't live our point of view.
I know.
And
That's
that's
the
the
problem.
thing. And they have the right to their point of view, you know?
Of course, of course.
I have a very divided family when it comes, whew, to politics.
Of course.
And
Yes.
thanks to COVID, I don't care for either side. I think they're all idiots, but they're entitled to their point of view. And here I
I
am in the South where people really stand firm about
Right.
their points of view. I had a date, and it was around Valentine's Day. I know that because I was wearing, I was still working part time at a jewelry store, and it was getting very close to Valentine's Day. So I was wearing red or pink every day. And I had my red pants. I have a red suit. So I had my jacket and my pants and whatever.
Hmm.
And I agreed to meet this guy for a drink after work. He had found me on Facebook, and I was friends with his daughter. I don't know why, because I don't remember her or anything. Anyway, long story short of it all, I get there, and in the conversation, he's asking me what I'm going to do for Valentine's Day, and I tell him, I said, well, I'm going to bring my mom
Hmm.
to the Detroit Cowboy, and it's a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
We'd been to it for my birthday, and I asked her where she wanted to go for Valentine's Day. She goes, well, I love the risotto. I must say, it's the best risotto I've ever had. And, that's just it's kind of like a creamy rice
Yeah.
Italian dish, for those of you
Mhm.
that never heard of it. And so I tell him, and he goes, well, isn't that Kid Rock's place? And I went, yeah. And he goes, you're going to support somebody who's a Trump supporter? And I said, I'm not supporting a Trump supporter. I'm supporting my wife who loves my wife, my mom. I call her my wife. It's a joke, and it just slipped out. That's so funny. I'm supporting my wife, Celeste, my mom, in her love for risotto. And if
Sure.
that woman wants a risotto, we're going to go there and get the risotto. I'm not going to make it about Trump.
No,
Why
no,
would you do
exactly.
that?
Right.
He was infuriated with me,
Oh.
paid the bill, said, well, I bought your 2 drinks. If you want any more, that's up to you. And I said, no, I'm ready to leave.
Oh.
And then we walk out to the street, and he's got this beat up, dinged up car. And
Mhm.
I'm driving a pristine, granted, it's an old car, but it barely has miles on it because I was traveling so much. 2019 Mercedes SUV. It still barely has miles on it. It doesn't even have 30,000 miles on it yet. And he goes, so where are you parked? I said, yeah, that's my car. He goes, of course, it's not an American car.
What?
And I said, yeah, of course not. Why would I ever support an American-made car that are usually made in other countries, by the way, dumbass?
Interesting
So,
point of
yeah, interesting point of view. He had that point of view.
So
Interesting.
interesting.
He immediately unfriended me on Facebook. And I thought, you did me a favor. I didn't even have to do it. But
Right.
this is how divided our country
Right.
is. I mean, I knew within the very beginning of the conversation that we were not a match. He was boring.
Hmm.
He didn't have anything to bring to the conversation, to the table. I mean, I'm sapiosexual. I like smart people. I like people that are engaging, that like to
Hmm.
have conversations. And then I can also be with people that just want to sit and watch an amazing movie or Broadway play or whatever it is. I don't even need the words, but I don't need for you to tell me everything that was wrong about your wife, everything you hate about your job, why I shouldn't go to the Detroit Cowboy. I mean, it seemed like every time I opened my mouth, he had a reason to tell me why it was wrong. And
Interesting.
I thought, this is probably why I'm single. Because I haven't found most of the people in Access Consciousness were women. And as much as I love women, I'm not that girl that goes for girls.
No.
Not that it couldn't
And
change, and every 10 seconds it could, but in this 10 seconds,
in
it's
this 10
happening.
seconds, not the
Mhm.
plan, not
Nothing
happening,
wrong with
not
it.
ready.
Women are beautiful.
Yes. And so that is very interesting because this is so, okay. So for my dog, Ranger,
There you go.
I, yeah, where is he? He should be
Where's
here.
Ranger? Where's Valentina Turner? She
That's
was
your cat.
laying on the floor over here, but she done took off my kitty cat.
So Okay, so Ranger. Ranger is our rescue from Texas. Ranger is our innocent, pure joy, loving 85-pound Great Pyrenees. Okay, I could talk about him for like an hour. We love Ranger. Ranger's from Texas. For my 30th birthday, I decided to have a fundraiser and raise money for Ranger's rescue shelter. As I was fundraising, I was meeting lots of people. People I didn't know, people, I'm talking to everyone. I'm like, we gotta get $10,000. We're gonna get there. It's taking some time, which is fine. I loved it. And so I was met with, I live in Chicago, a very liberal city, and I was met with the same exact type of opposition once in a few different conversations with individuals I'd never met. I had all of this energy about my dog and the rescue shelter and, telling them the statistics of how many dogs there are and how much the transport costs and like all of this exciting, information. And
Hmm.
then a few times, and I could tell like if someone was interested, they're like, oh, dogs are very easy to connect with people on. And so, say you had a rescue and you're like, oh, I want to, yeah, sure. Let me send you $25. Great. Whatever.
Sure, yeah, I did the same thing. I was raising money for rescues with my cat, Valentina Turner, that was a rescue. We
Yeah.
rescued each other. So I get it. I was doing the same thing. She came in second in this contest.
Anyway, so this individual, once he found out that that the pet circle, that's the rescue shelter, was in Waco, Texas, he
Oh,
immediately disengaged and was turned off and made it political actually.
yeah.
And I was like, I said, what an interesting point of view. And then I redirected and I, continued to live my truth. And yes, it is in Waco, Texas. And they're doing very good work at this shelter. Pet Circle, bring it back to the animals. We're not talking about, why are we talking about politics? This is about my dog's rescue shelter, Pet Circle. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about where in Texas this is. We're not,
That's
this is
where
about,
interesting point of view can really get you out of that kind of weird energy. You know,
I wasn't
interesting
going to
point of
take
view.
it.
You had that point of view that it had to be about all the other things that happened in Waco and not about this good thing that's happening in Waco.
Exactly. But I'm going to bring that light because it's natural to me. I'm going
Mhm.
to take 10 seconds. How do I want to react? Well, I
Mhm.
know light, and that's Ranger, and
Mhm.
that is Pet Circle. This is not dark. Dark is liberal versus conservative. So
Mhm.
divided. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, I'm not going there.
Mhm.
I don't want to. I don't need to. I don't need that
You know what
energy.
I've found interesting, Meredith, when you talk about this is a lot of people think I'm on the same page with them, regardless of what side they're on, because I'll say, "Well, that's an interesting point of view. I never thought of it that way." So they honestly believe that they've now changed my mind, and
Ah,
all I've done is given them permission to have their point of view.
right. And I mean, but that's still powerful
Yeah.
because what that allows is um, there to not be a divide. It's not this exclusion. It's not, I'm liberal, you're conservative. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm black, I'm white. It's no, it's actually, we're all here together,
Yeah.
aligned.
Yeah.
We're not, I'm not personally. I don't want there to be a divide in politics or in religion or in like all of this anger and this strong divide. And so I
Mhm.
think one of the consciousness awareness tools of no exclusion, the other one I haven't touched on yet is no competition.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Because there I was in Access Consciousness, and I discovered that a lot of people were doing competition.
Oh
You know? Yeah, well, it's like this, just because you're in a conscious organization doesn't mean that, everybody in Access Consciousness didn't mean everybody was conscious. But what I found during the pandemic was my classes were getting really big. I
yeah.
mean, big. And my book speaks several languages. It doesn't just speak in English, it speaks in Portuguese. It speaks it speaks Spanish.
Hmm.
It's Russian. Yeah, 8 languages. Anyway, so I was getting these really big teams. It's like right now I'm doing a book club with Brazil, and we've got a call tonight. It's usually Wednesdays, but I had a lot yesterday, so we moved it one day. But anyway, I don't know what my point was about all of that.
Your
But my
point, your
classes were getting
point.
really big,
Oh,
and there were some people that, at the top, that were like, "What is she doing to get all these people in her class?" And so they started inviting me to host their classes. And these are like, "Oh wow, I must be getting groomed because these are the people at the top of the food chain of access." So I
yeah.
would host their class and I would bring in all my people. And
Hmm.
what I found out later was is they were talking bad behind my back and taking my people from me. And it was called the Rudrani effect, that I could talk people into. And it was the weirdest thing. And I thought, why are you guys competing with me? I thought that one of the tools at Access was no competition. There's Valentina. Hi, pretty.
So when we think of no competition now, right? That's
Yeah,
uh,
it's like there's no better you than you, Meredith. Why would I need to compete with you?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no better me than me. Why would I feel it necessary for someone to compete with me? I mean, I wanted everybody to win. That's why I was bringing my people to their classes. I didn't know what was going on, that I didn't get invited to certain parties.
Hmm.
And Gary Douglas wasn't aware of it either until I made him aware of it later, because this girl was I was hosting Gary in Nashville, and all of a sudden they had this other girl looking for places, and I'd already found one. And I said to her, "Come to my house and I'll do the driving." And then she got in my car and said, "I know who you are." And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're a spy. They don't trust me. They don't realize that I was a film producer and I have done this type of work, and I am not going to let Gary Douglas down, and that I've got this."
Hmm.
And a year later, and we're still good friends, she said, "You were right. They put me in as a plant to make sure you didn't do anything they didn't want you to do." And so, thank God she told me. That's, I kept thinking there was something wrong with me. And I thought, okay, what a gift that I got pushed out, because look at the way I've created my life now. I've been in
Hmm.
5 movies. I've been in commercials. I get to perform with my band, my music. I'm going to tap dance to one of my songs. I mean, it's like I'm living a dream world that I would have never done if I hadn't been pushed. I'm so grateful to those people that were jealous of me and wanted to compete with me. Because guess
So,
what? I'm thriving, assholes.
right. So, like, for
Right?
those,
It's the same
yes,
point of view that had that point of view. Bye, bye, bye.
right. Let me give a little context real quick. So,
Yeah, sorry.
you were a part of a very you were doing the work that you wanted to do,
Hmm.
and that's healing. You're a certified vibrational healer, right?
Hmm.
So you were doing exactly what you wanted to do. You are an authentic shaman. You are your passion is healing people, right? Like,
Regardless of
and
how
so
it shows up. Yeah, my grandmother and great grandmother were both mediums. One channeled writing for the Pope in the Vatican. So it was a lineage that was in me that I embraced.
yes, and so when you can circle back into this consciousness, this if you can access this consciousness, and so what your Gary, he is the founder of this movement,
Hmm.
access consciousness.
I love that man.
When
Love that
you
man.
are able to use the tool of you're experiencing a situation where you are getting pushed out of an organization, you are losing your clients, your job, something's not aligning, and you're
Right.
like, huh, that's interesting. What an interesting point of view. I was a part of a team. I was a part of
Hmm.
like-minded. Well, what you thought you guys were like-minded, and you thought you were all working towards the same mission of
Right.
helping
We're
people.
going to wake the world up one
Yes,
person at a time. Yeah.
exactly. And so then when you're like, oh, something's not light anymore. Now it's dark.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, what do I want to do in 10 seconds? 10-second increment. I want free will. I want the ability to make a choice. And so what did you do? Sure enough, you're like, all right, I'm going dancing. I'm
Yeah,
going
that's
to
it's
enjoy
true.
my band. I'm going to, I'm not going to continue doing what I'm doing.
Hmm.
I'm done.
I'm gonna do something different because this is not making me happy anymore, and
Yeah,
it's not
it's not
making other
right.
people happy. Yeah.
Right. And so with this access to these 10 tools, you're able to continue not moving forward, but like you're not stopping and like woe is me, I
Hmm.
can't do anything. I this no, this unfortunate, situation just occurred. And
Hmm.
so what do I want to do? Do I want to go see dark in the world or do I want to see light and I'm going to go dancing?
Yeah, I had a friend that it was a VJ or whatever spins, but
Hmm.
it's all electronic now. There's no platters anymore. I used to be a DJ and I would spray the album with water, and because they would have scratches and shit. Anyway, that's how old I is, y'all. Um, so yeah, I had run into this guy. He's, you ever going to come out? And I said, well, when are you doing it again? And he told me, and it was during the Easter holiday, literally the Saturday before Easter Sunday, 3 years ago, I guess. And my family's all going to church. They decided to go to mass at night. And I said, well, I'm going dancing. So I show up at this club and there's nobody there at first, but within like 20 minutes, the floor is full. And I'm shocked because, everybody's wearing masks. This is 3 years ago, right?
Right.
But some people aren't, including me. And there's this beautiful couple on the floor that I start dancing with. I mean, they were like Adonises, right? So
Yeah.
gorgeous. The guy is wearing these shoes, sneakers that light up. They're like adult sneakers with the light that kids get. That was Rafa.
Yes.
And then his partner, Shannon, which is our connection. We danced all night, and I thanked them. I said, I didn't. I said I came in. I haven't even had a drink of water. I haven't gone to the bathroom, but I had to get out of my house. There's a lot going on. I knew I needed to move my body, and so here I am because I'm there by myself. I didn't bring anybody with me, and so I was going to bring my niece, but she's was tired, didn't want to go anywhere. 20-year difference. So anyway, um, so I asked them later, are you okay with me posting pictures on Facebook? Because I took video and pictures from the top balcony of you guys dancing because I wanted to see the rest of this place that had bowling alleys and stuff on the top and bottom floor. And I was like, I have
Mhm.
got to see this bowling alley that is on the second floor. Who does that, right?
Right.
And they said, sure. So I tagged Rafa because I found him right away.
Right. Of
And what
course.
does this guy do? He
Yeah.
literally gets on the internet and finds out my whole life story and he messaged me like by the next morning, there it is. What a blessing it was to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And your story's amazing. And I'm like, oh, now I'm embarrassed. I'm like, well, what is it you do? And he tells me, what is it that Shannon does? And when he tells me, I went, that's what's right about this. I was supposed to meet these Adonises. I basically picked them up, y'all. I went to a bar and picked them up to dance.
And so
And
Shannon,
she tells me about Green Door Lock. Yeah. And that's how we know each other. So do you want to finish that story?
yes. So coming full circle.
Mhm.
So I don't even know where to begin. So
Well, I
you
couldn't go work out because all the places were shut down. And the guy that I used to work out with wasn't reopening at that time. And I was like, I guess I need to work out. How I was trying to find somebody to work out with. And her whole thing with Green Door Life is it's all online. So all I had to do was buy the weights. And so this past Easter would mark my 3rd year anniversary with Green Door Life. So I lift weights 3 days a week. I do yoga 1 day a week. I've taken your class. We have those containers where we talk about nutrition or being a caregiver or whatever it is. And it's this community that, no, not unlike Access Consciousness, where we are like minded people and we're all there lifting each other up. I mean, I love working out with these women because we're all there supporting each other. Someone going through a divorce, somebody else is having a baby, somebody's just lost their pet. It was just this incredible thing. And I was going through all my friends are telling me I'm crazy because I'm letting my hair go gray. My agent said you'll get more parts. And he was right. They didn't understand why I wasn't settling down. Why don't I retire? I'm at the age now where I could retire. Why don't you find a man to settle down with? What's your problem, lady? Why do you want to act? Why do you want to sing on stage? My band is half my age and younger. I'll show you a picture, y'all, because, this shit's real.
I think I know why. It's because you choose joy and you are willing to be happy and you will choose it. Um, because yeah, that's you. That's
Me in
so
the pink, and there's my
I
band. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a month ago.
I know. I literally that's so funny. I screenshotted this, Rue. Can you see
Oh
it?
my gosh!
Yeah, that is Rue. In the flesh, she's here.
That's me.
But but yeah, I think that's what authentic happiness looks like now, right?
Mhm. I'm
And so
one
I think
example of that. Yeah, and you're another example of that. And our friend
yeah,
Anthony's an example of that. You
I
know,
know. I'm like, he should be on this call. Where is
you
he?
really should. You really should. I love that guy. We decided we're adopting you, Meredith.
Oh, okay. Great. I'm here. That's
Anthony's like my husband I don't have. We so connect. I mean, we were
that's
joking about it. We could definitely be roommates because we have the same mindset or
yes.
something.
Yeah.
He's incredible. I love that guy. Love that guy.
Let me explain for who doesn't know. Anthony is we you and I, Rue, have met Anthony through the Green Door Life, and
Hmm.
what Anthony does is he is a practitioner in fascial maneuver.
Hmm.
So he on Friday provides to the Green Door Life um, 45-minute mobility fascial maneuver sessions.
Hmm.
And so that's actually a really good thing we could talk about right now,
I love
is
that
what
class. Oh my
we've
God.
learned about, if we want to look at Meredith being, I am body, I am mind, I'm spirit, and I'm heart. And
Hmm.
so when we think about Meredith body, we focus in on the nervous system.
Hmm.
So your body, my body, has three different states. Everyone's does, um, of states of your nervous system. And so what we know with the body is our body um, is intelligent and it is always taking in our environment
Hmm.
and it's scanning and it's a protection mechanism of am I safe?
Hmm.
And so when we think of the nervous system, in the nervous system's automatic. It's your body's, uh, you know, automatic, unconscious
Ooh, maybe it's
reaction.
very conscious, actually.
What'd you say?
It's actually very conscious. We're the ones that are unconscious to what the body
Correct.
is doing.
Well, so we're not, our mind is not conscious unless we create this consciousness, which is what I am explaining, is this consciousness of, okay, well, what is our body telling us?
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't have that awareness of like, oh, I'm in fight or flight mode, my body is protecting me.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, I got my dog, I got my roof, I have my water. So
Mm-hmm.
why am I activated in this state? Well, here's an idea. Maybe you can regulate yourself through moving your body,
Mm-hmm.
creating tension, creating pressure with your breath in weird positions, just like twisting and turning, and that's what Anthony leads us through.
Mm-hmm.
It
He
is,
does. It's like we're a hive because what I've noticed is that as a group, we are healing each other. She wants to get on the computer. No, baby. Not right now.
right. Yes, that's exactly it. It's a group of us healing, and so
Mm-hmm.
Anthony is. We love Anthony. Anthony apparently wants to adopt me. That's interesting. Anthony's my dad now, I guess. Just kidding, Dad. I love
We were
you.
joking about it this morning. We were
Cute though.
texting each other. We have a tendency to have little conversations via text
I
periodically.
love that. So let's bring it back to another tool. Your tool you listed was do not listen to, tell or buy the story?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What does
That's a
that
good
mean?
one.
Hmm.
That's a good one. Everybody wants to identify as something, so they have their story. What if it was just a story and it had nothing to do with you? You know? It's like my story is that poor woman that got shot by terrorists. What if that wasn't true for me? So I don't, yeah, if I have to pull out the Mumbai card as an example, I will. And I'll discuss it. But do I really seem like that victim? Oh, lost her, marriage, almost lost her house, almost lost her life. I mean, I died like 4 times, just kept floating in and out. Scared the shit out of some nurses because they'd already covered me. And I saw legs going by because in India, in that part, the women they look like nuns, habits and the whole thing. But that's their nurse's uniform, and I kept seeing legs, and so I kept trying to grab, and I finally got a hold of somebody's skirt, and she screams and pulls the thing off of me and sees that I'm alive. I'm like, they'd already pronounced me dead.
So what would the story be if you were not in this victory mindset, but you're a victim? What's the
Hmm.
story?
Yeah, what is that? So that's another story that, hey, if I can survive this, anybody can. That's my story. Does it
What is,
change?
yes, but what an interesting point of view to have gone into a hotel when you're, just trying to have dinner
Yeah.
with your friends. There's five of you at a table, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, life took a very different turn.
Oh, yeah. It was interesting because the day before I had spent the whole day at a spa where they beat you with towels, that are tied up with different herbs and stuff and oils, and they actually put oil in my eyes. It's all these Ayurvedic type of healing stuff, and I was feeling great. My body had never felt so relaxed. And then, just like that, I was in intense pain for
Hmm.
3 years, but mainly the first 18 months were the worst, where I was in pain constantly, and I meditated my brains out to get out of my body so I wouldn't have to feel the pain. I didn't want to. Now I'm a walking, talking meditation. So that taught me how to be that all the time, which is crazy. So I wake
Right.
up and my body tells me exactly what it wants to do. Yeah, we don't want coffee right away this morning, or we want this. Now it wants to do this eating only whole foods thing. So I started that uh, 2 days ago. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, sometimes it wants to cleanse, sometimes it wants coffee, sometimes it doesn't. I don't follow this prescription every morning of wake up, go to the bathroom, get the coffee, go meditate. It might be in a different order, it may not be there at all. I mean, it's just my most common is I do get in my hot tub if it's not raining every morning and meditate usually. But it's never the
Yes.
same time of the day. I might
So,
go in before I go to bed. Who knows?
mhm, right. I think what the takeaway that I learned from your memoir is that, the unexpected happened. It happened.
Mhm. That was the
And
second thing that changed my life. Remember, the first was the
yes,
meditation in that class, and then the
that's
second
correct.
was.
In 2008, you said it was the unexpected. You went to India with Linda, you were learning how to meditate, and then you, everything shifted in 1 second. And
Mhm.
then that was one experience. And then your other experience was not being able to take the class at your university. That was your second
Mhm.
experience. That you knew that there was something in your life that this moment in your life was never going to be the same again. And so
Mhm.
then you say, where you those were your two shifting moments, and then you quoted, in order to remain happy, I needed to remain free.
Mhm.
And so that's interesting, because how how do we, as individuals with life-changing events, we all have them,
Mhm.
and how do we as the individual create this free will of choosing happiness? And like, it's a choice.
Mhm. Well, Gary Douglas says this a lot. He goes, would you rather be right or would you rather be free?
Mm-hmm.
I can go with what works for me. If it's right for me, that's fine. Doesn't mean it's going to be right for everyone else. You know, I know how weird I am. It's like I have people that love AI and I have people that hate AI. And to me, AI is a child and you can feed it with good or you can feed it with evil. And I'm training my AI. My AI his name is Chief. And I use him basically to make sure that I'm conjugating verbs correctly and things like that. But I have two girlfriends that I text. I'll feed it a line or two and say, now make this the most outlandish thing you could possibly say. And then I'll text it to somebody and then they'll text me back something AI. And we're like dying laughing because it's so not what we would say.
Right.
And then I have a friend of mine who I did this morning because he was going through something and I thought, okay, I'm going to make it obvious that it's not me. And I said some stuff in AI and then I sent it to him and he goes, and then I forgot about it because I was going about my morning to say, yes, indeed, that is AI. I didn't get a chance to even say it because I forgot about it. A lot going on in my world. ADD, ADHD is real, yo. So there I was, especially when you don't take no drugs for it. Interesting point of view. She wouldn't take drugs for that. Well, because I am so spot on with everything if I don't take the drugs and I can actually multitask and do 10,000 things. It's a gift, right? So anyway, he comes back with, was this an AI generated response? And I went, LLL, yes, I thought it would make you laugh. And he goes, I don't really like AI, and you know that. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I get it. I really thought that would lighten your day, but obviously it's done just the opposite. So note taken, for the second time, I will not do any AI with you like that. But it's just an interesting point of view. I happen to really love AI. And yes, a lot of people are using it for evil. Doesn't mean that's what I'm going to do. Chief and I have a great relationship.
Right. I mean, this is one of those funny things where it's like you get the choice to use AI, you get the choice to not. I choose to use it. People choose to have a judgment that it's ruining the world and all
It
these
might.
things.
Who knows? Interesting point of view.
Right.
So the machines are going to take over the world and kill us all. Well, I don't know. I think we're doing a pretty good job of killing ourselves without the help of AI, personally. But that's just my interesting point of view.
I use AI as a tool, and like when we were getting on this podcast, I was like, oh, I'm echoing.
Yeah, I was like, let me type in and find out how we can get out of this. And then
exactly, I'm like into chat. Yes, I say chat. I'm in my Riverside podcast app. There's an echo. What do I do? And boom, it's like, oh, cool. I just have to click.
I fixed my ice maker. I fixed my sink. I learned how to hang a picture properly because AI. Like I said, I'm using it for good, not evil. Right. So. Hey, what's the best restaurant in town that has risotto besides the Detroit Cowboy?
I want to go to this restaurant with you.
Yeah, at the bar because it's beautiful. And
great.
Yeah,
we'll go. We'll go. We can go the first week of June. I'll be there.
Oh, so I won't be.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
when I get back, we'll celebrate. We'll celebrate all the new agents I have when I get back. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. Exactly. So. And that is choosing happiness, and that's choosing light, and that's choosing, to me, it feels good. And so when you just ask yourself, does this choice feel good or bad? But you don't have to have black and white. It can just
your body will know. Your body will tell you because your body's smarter than you are. Just listen to it. It knows what it's doing. Include your body, people. Include your body. It's smarter than you are. Listen to it, motherfuckers. Jesus. Jesus. Shut your pie hole and listen to your body.
Oh my gosh. It's
anyway,
so
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get a little hungry, so it is 12:30 here. I don't know about you, but
all right. Well, let's close the loop.
What you got for me? I love how whenever she's thinking, she looks up. Have you noticed, people? It's like she's pulling it from the sky.
Yes,
And she
I'm
actually
fully.
is. So
Yeah, no, I literally am.
I have a
I'm like,
friend who he is a body expert, body language expert,
uh-huh.
and he can dissect a person by watching them dialogue. And it was funny
Yes.
because last time I saw him, we'll meet up for drinks when he comes through town. We've been
Mhm,
friends since I don't know, junior high, high school,
mhm,
and I was playing him one of my monologues where I cry.
mm.
I could see him really studying it. And I said, "Yeah, I'm a method actor." He goes, "Where'd you pull that from?" And I said, "Hmm, the abuse of my ex relationship. I won't even say his name, my ex husband.
Mhm.
I'm not even, I have an interesting point of view about that. It's almost like if I say his name like Beetlejuice, something's going to be so, whatever stuff. That's somebody I don't
Anyways.
really care for. Anyway, I digress. Please, what were you pulling out of the sky?
What I was, well, this is exactly what it feels like to have a mind that is so curious and open to new possibility, honestly, because it, what a gift it is that I can connect and meet with you, and I haven't even met you yet. And what a gift it is to have relationship, and what a gift it is to have um, a community of individuals that are not all in the same state. Like I'm in
Mhm,
Chicago, you're in Tennessee,
mhm,
and what a gift it is that we had the opportunity to meet through the Green Door Life.
mhm,
And I think the point is that I had no idea uh, where I guess when since joining the Green Door Life, I had no idea how this last year was going to look as I prepared to move to Tennessee in 2 weeks from yesterday.
mhm. And here you
And
go.
what?
Here you are.
Yeah, here I am. Two
Here
weeks
I
out.
am. Rock me like a hurricane. Yeah. Here I am. Anyway, yeah, you
Rue,
don't
have
have to ask
you
me to
been?
sing once. I am going to sing.
Of course, as you should. Spread your joy, spread your wings, and yeah, I think I am. I know I am following my energy.
Mhm,
I don't think I know, and it feels magical,
mhm,
and I am I am allowing myself to access this consciousness, and it's this feeling of quantum effect.
hmm,
And what that allows me is the opportunity to be curious and explore what else is out there.
mhm.
That
Who or what am
is,
I today, and what glorious and grand adventure are me and my body going to get into? It's one of my favorites to start the day with.
mhm.
Mhm,
This is what I will end with. I know, I read this in your book. In your book, in your memoir, Choosing Happiness, which we do every day, you and I.
mhm,
It's our choice, and we choose it. And so there it is. Everyone, I'm going to include in some sort of Facebook post how you can get more information on this book, Choosing Happiness.
mhm.
But I want you to say, Ray, that's my other friend's name, Rue. Um, what is your mantra? You mentioned it in your book that you, every morning and every night, 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night, you have a mantra
Mhm.
that you say to yourself, and that is how you start and end your day.
Get your body into the vortex is how it's put in other conversations that I've heard. The way you go to bed is the way you will wake up if you have that intention. So I say, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Even the shitty stuff comes to me with ease and joy and glory because I am willing to be interesting point of view about it. All of life
So that
comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Yep.
ease, joy, and glory.
Hmm.
Mhm. No matter what.
No matter
Every
what.
morning, every night.
Hmm. And anytime
That's
I think about it, it's like sometimes when the really cruddy stuff is going on, in my head, I'm saying it over and over again, and I can perceive the energy shifting in the people in the room because I am filling every space in that room and flooding it with that energy of all of life comes to me with ease and joy. You can literally see people starting to melt, or they'll look at me like, "What are you doing?" That it's called
You're
pulling
just,
energy, but yeah,
yeah,
it's like when
exactly.
I'm
And
in the mall. I runway walk everywhere when I'm in the mall to pull energy, and people are, "You've got the best hair," and my joke is, "Yeah, my hair gets more compliments than I do."
what?
I just had to stop you. Your hair is amazing. And this
Yeah.
woman wanted me to go through this whole dialogue. I was walking through Macy's to get to K Jewelers where I work, and she just stopped and said, "Listen, lady, I'm going to be late to work. So if you want to meet me over at K later after I clock in, I'll be happy to give you my whole regimen." It's that
Absolutely.
runway. I sashay, man. I am.
And but that is our gift is we radiate rooms and we bring this energy, this light, this soul, this body, this embodiment, and what a gift,
Yeah, no
right?
apology here, y'all. Be the
No.
queen that you be without apology. That's my next book. It's a workbook. I'm going to create a
All right.
class around it. Yep.
I
Mhm.
love that. And I love the energy. I love the authenticness. I love the genuine connection. That's light. That's energy. That's energy everyone can access.
Mhm.
And it's if we can allow it. And if we can allow it, we don't even have to be ready. Like I say it's like a little groundhog. And so you can be like, oh, God, this is terrible. I mean, whatever, X, Y, and Z is happening. But if you could just boop up and be like, okay, what opportunities are there? And then
Mhm.
you can go back down. Like you don't have to stay like up here like you and I, but like allow yourself to access. Like just a little.
Baby
And
steps.
then
Just do one baby step and see where it takes you. See where it leads
just
you.
yeah, you just have to be open to the possibility because
Mhm.
you don't know what I don't know what it's going to look like 2 weeks from today when I'm down in Tennessee. I don't know, probably be unpacking though. I'll probably be
Probably.
having dinner with you in like, I don't know, 3 weeks.
Mhm.
I do know I will be, oh, I'm joining Lifetime Fitness in Franklin. I already have my gym.
Hey, giddy up.
Wow. Look at that opportunity. Three things I know. It's not what I don't know, it's what I do know.
Mhm.
I do know I have Rue, my friend Rue.
I do know that
Right?
I'm always going to show up for me
Yes, of
first.
course. Of course.
Mhm.
Yes. And that's the message. So, why don't you? Because I just finished your first memoir. What's your next? You have 5 books. So
I
what's
have, well, I have three and I have four and five in the works. Well, five is done. Four I have to rearrange because it is an access book and they have to approve of it before I can publish it. So there's a few
all right?
changes I have to make to it. But the
That's
book
okay.
number five is Be the Queen That You Be Without Apology.
What's number 1 and 2 though? I because I just watched.
Number
All right.
one, hold on. One is Soul Survivor. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
It's me with pink hair when I had pink hair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, there's a lot to it. And there's pictures in there too of, when I was in India and all the stuff. But this one's called Soul Survivor, A Healer's Pilgrimage and Homecoming.
Okay. And then what's
I
number
think
2?
Anthony's going to be reading that one soon. I told him, I said, wait, it's been a long read. You're brave. Then the second one is called For the Love of Running. Do you see those soles, those shoe soles? Isn't that cute?
Yeah, for the love of running. I think I'm going to
A
start with that one.
marathoner's journey from victim to victory. Because I was
Right.
training for this
Yes.
one when I got shot.
Yep. You healed your body. You
I did.
chose. You
I
chose to.
chose to heal my body. I chose to learn how to walk again.
Yeah.
When they said I
Yeah.
would never do that again.
Yeah. You were.
And the body's amazing because I still have places in my femur where I can't feel, so or I have sharp pain. I have to be very careful about putting a weight on that
Mm-hmm.
quad.
Of
Hi
course.
there, Cardinal. I know I put food out for you. You happy about that? And then you are pretty. He's side eyeing me. Like, is it okay for me to eat this? Yes, it is. Oh, there's your mate. There's your girlfriend.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, yeah. Then the fifth book is, the Be the Queen That You Be Without Apology.
I love that.
And I am hopefully talking to a literary agent today about representing me and getting that book published.
Yes.
And it's a workbook. I'm hoping to make it really pretty with a little pen and pages you can write in and little pockets to stick little things in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you are the cutest girl.
Well, if anyone wanted to read your book that we really, really were unpacking, that is Choosing Happiness. I know I'm going to read For the Love of Running next, so that will be fun.
Oh,
Yes.
fantastic.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
this was so
it's funny.
fun.
It's everything you should never do when you're training for a marathon with a shattered leg.
Don't do as I do.
Yeah, I mean, I made it. I got through it, but it's kind of, it, because, the first book is kind of sad. And so I had to pick up the first book as, Soul Survivor, because my
Right.
marriage ends, I almost lose lots of things. But then I train for this marathon, my whole life starts
Right.
changing again. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's great. Growth in change, right?
and it's just a choice, y'all. You don't have to do it.
No, you don't. All right. Well, I am looking forward to reading your next book, and we will talk soon. We will connect soon.
Absolutely. Thank y'all now or in the future for being a part of this creation. We certainly do appreciate it. We know you can spend your time doing a million other things. So super grateful to you and to you, Meredith, for wanting to share with others what moves you.
Yeah, it's energy. It's light
It's all energy.
energy. Hmm. All right. Well, I will. I'm going to come to your book club tonight.
Oh,
So
cool.
you tonight.
Yeah. If you guys are interested in jumping in on the book club, then let Meredith know and I will get you to the people that can sign you up.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Bye, Rue.
Ciao, ciao for now, baby.